live on your radio from the metropolis of Nederland, Texas. Mr. Mike Out of This World Mars, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, gentlemen. We're in the big city.
They're on their feet in the control room.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yep, exactly. How are you?
Doing well so far. How are y'all?
Good. Doing good. What's going on over there in East Texas?
Well, we're still trying to dry out from that rain y'all kept sending us last week.
Yeah, it's all our fault.
Yeah,
I'm familiar with that.
But, so have you gotten arrested with the Abarth yet? Or no tickets yet?
No, got no tickets. Slid by a couple of things, happened to see a few things up ahead of me and managed to not do something silly.
Hey, did you get the white one with the red stripe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I know. We Mike and I go, oh, yeah, we love that car. So Mike has got the review of the 2013 Fiat Abarth, and if you're not exactly familiar with it, it's the Fiat 500 with the Abarth package on it. And I'm sure you've seen the commercial with the hot chick in the black dress.
Don's girlfriend, yes.
With the red epaulets on the sleeves. And, yeah. Well, we all had the pleasure of meeting her in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And it was quite something. And then we got to drive the car, which by that time we really didn't care anything about the car. We were still talking about the chick.
By the time we left, she was trying to get a restraining order against Don.
Yeah, well, I couldn't help myself. That's all there is to it. So, okay.
Yeah, my luck, I'd run into Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you'd win.
Tell us what you think.
I'm kind of like you guys. That thing showed up, and it's sitting out in the driveway, and it's white, and it's got the red stripes and the white wheels, and it's got its little low-down stance, and it just begs to be driven. It's come and drive me, it's saying, and I really liked it. It's got the little 1.4s, that's got the turbocharger in that particular model, so it's pumping out, 160 horses. So
yeah,
5 speed, that thing will scoot around town.
Mike, the other thing is 160 horsepower by a lot of folks isn't a lot of horsepower, but because the car doesn't weigh anything, it's a lot of horsepower.
A little bitty
car.
It's
only like 2,400 pounds.
Yeah, it's like an Indy car.
Yeah, that's a good, kind of Indy car with a roof on it.
That's it.
So it's a great car. It comes with the Abarth. It comes with the red performance seats. That one had the red high back performance seats that were just super comfortable for two people to climb in them. Made you feel like you were in some sort of a sports car. And I was amazed when I was doing the research on this thing at the history this thing has got from a racing perspective, even though it was only built originally in Italy in 2007 and started over here in 2011. But it's just really a great driving little car. It's fun. It'll hold out on the highway. It's not going to beat you to death out there. It's a sports car. It drives like a sports car as far as the suspension goes because it's got a performance suspension. But that means you know where the road is. You've got that feel of the road that you buy a sports car for. It just happens to be a small sports car.
Well, it's also easy to park, easy to drive in traffic, and it just looks cool.
You just want to whip it around like a go-kart, and it does look cool. I had two people come up and literally ask me, what is this? And one of them, unfortunately, was a very young girl whose mother felt compelled to come over there and talk to me as well.
Well, you know what? I think that all of us with daughters would feel that way, too, because you look like a stalker.
Yeah, you do.
There's no police records out there, I promise.
Yeah, okay. We'll take your word for it.
But it is. It's just a cool car, and it's got dual exhaust. That dual exhaust puts out a nice little note. It seems to call every coffee can racer within a mile, but other than that, it sounds cool. It sounds like a performance car. And it drives like a performance car, but it's still comfortable, particularly around town.
It's got great brakes. It's got great handling. And, the Abarth, I knew them from not just the cars, but from their exhaust systems. They make awesome exhaust systems. And everybody has, this Austin Healey with an Abarth exhaust, a Triumph, or an MG with an Abarth exhaust. Okay, then all of a sudden you see an Abarth car. And I was like, wow, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really a great little car, particularly whenever you start, talking about the money and what you're getting for it, with this performance suspension, the interior. This one happens to have the Alpine Premium Auto with the Beat speaker system, which is just blow the windows out of that little thing.
Well, I know I saw when Mini Coopers are getting into the upper mid 30s when you get into the performance versions of things like that. This one is in the mid 20s. So it sounds like it's a little bit better deal. Now if you don't want this with performance, you can always back down to a Fiat 500 Sport, which is about 17.5, which is not quite so bad.
Right. You get into the baseline, like you say, around the 17.5. You get into the bottom line of the Abarth, which has got lots of stuff on it. But I believe the one that we had that came into the driveway, even with the destination charges and everything else, was sitting at 27.
Yeah, and that's before you make any kind of deals with the dealer.
Oh yeah, no. This is all strictly sticker price because the dealers, just kind of, what kind of deal can you swing?
Well, with Fiat, it's always been about style and substance, but they always look good. That's for sure. Anything Italian is always going to look good, especially in red.
Well, and that's the thing about it, because this, I got to looking, and this really doesn't have a red interior. It's a rosso, I think is how you say it, interior, and it's not white. It's blanco on the white. So you got to get some Italian flavor into this thing. Yeah,
and you can customize them with into 90,000 ways or some kind of ridiculous thing. You can do everything. Now, how many stars are you going to give it, Mike?
Well, I'd have to give this thing a 4.5 because it just begs to be driven and it loves to be driven.
Wow, that is pretty exciting.
I really liked it.
What does this car compete against, really?
Well, it's in the same segment theoretically. Everybody talks about it up against the Mini Cooper or maybe the Ford Fiesta hatchback, and even possibly the Mazda Speed 3.
The Miata.
No, the Speed 3 more than the Miata. Miata's convertible.
Yeah. Okay.
You might want to say maybe the Toyota Yaris, but
good God.
That's
Did you actually say that?
It's an A car, but it doesn't. There's no competition there.
Right.
The Toyota Yaris.
Maybe the Honda Fit Sport. Which is but they're still. It's like, wow, this is just so much more than that.
Well, it's all new cars, or basically all new cars, are good cars. The technology and the way people build them, they're just good cars. But then you got to get the driver's experience into it. You got to look at what you want it for, and you're not going to get in this car and go coast to coast on Interstate 10. You just don't buy it for that. It'll do it. Absolutely, it would do it. But that's not what you go buy that for.
Well, no. I think that you need to clarify that. It would go coast to coast to somebody a lot younger than us.
Your kidneys might not know. Yeah, it would do it.
If I was 20, man, I'd love to go coast to coast with that
I'd be
car.
All over that.
That's a fun car.
Yeah.
Yep, it really is. It just, in the time that we had it, it rained every day up until the last day. So we didn't get to push it around a lot on the street, but it holds the street well.
Did you do any donuts in the parking lot at least?
A little bit,
He ate some donuts in the parking lot.
That's probably more like it. All right. Well, thank you, Mike.
Well, you guys have a great day.
Well, you do the same, and thank you so much for the Fiat 500 Abarth review, and we will check back with you next weekend for another exciting adventure.